Hello dear students, welcome to the course of Engineering Thermodynamics. Myself Mihir Mistry, Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. So today we are going to discuss about gas power cycle, and in particular today we are going to see example on diesel cycle. So as you can see on the screen, the given data is there. An air standard diesel cycle has compression ratio of 20. So before writing the given data, you must be aware about the PV diagram and TS diagram of diesel cycle. So as you can see on the screen, the PV and TS diagram is represented over here, in which there are four processes, each constituting of 1 to 2 process is having reversible adiabatic compression, 2 to 3 is nothing but constant pressure heat addition, 3 to 4 is nothing but reversible adiabatic expansion, and 4 to 1 is nothing but constant volume heat rejection process. Right, likewise the same is observed in TS diagram also. So now the given compression ratio R is 20. Right, so R is 20, so we will write it down. The state of air at the beginning of the compression is 95 kilopascal and 20 degrees Celsius. As you can see, the compression is starting from point number 1. So for point number 1, the pressure and temperatures are given, that is 95 kilopascal is pressure P1 and temperature 20 degrees Celsius, that is T1. We will convert it into Kelvin, so 293 Kelvin. If the maximum pressure if the maximum temperature in the cycle is not to exceed 2200 Kelvin, okay, so it says that the maximum temperature, that is, if you observe the TS diagram over here, then maximum temperature is 3, right? So 3 temperature should not exceed beyond 2200 Kelvin. So we can take T3 as 2200 Kelvin, right? So find the thermal efficiency and mean effective pressure. So you are supposed to find out eta and PM, right? So first of all, you should be aware about the equation of eta and PM. Okay, so formula is what? So eta, as you can see, for diesel cycle you must remember this formula: 1 minus 1 upon R raised to gamma minus 1 into 1 upon gamma into RC raised to gamma minus 1 upon RC minus 1, right? Now further, mean effective pressure is nothing but work done divided by swept volume. So we will first identify and try to find the diesel cycle efficiency, and then we will try to find the mean effective pressure, right? So let us start our work. So before starting we shall be aware about the equation, that according to the equation we do have the value of compression ratio R, but we do not have the value of cutoff ratio RC. So we will try to first identify what is RC. So if you recall the diesel cycle lecture, then cutoff ratio RC is nothing but V3 divided by V2. So here you can see V3, see this line is drawn, right? Let me draw it again. V3, right? So this is volume 3, and V2, this is volume 2, right? So if you take ratio of these two volumes, then it will be nothing but cutoff ratio, and cutoff ratio is nothing but the ratio of volumes during which the diesel is injected in the engine. Okay, so you can take that. And also you can consider and appreciate the fact that 2 to 3 is constant pressure process. So whenever the pressure is constant, then you can take volume in proportional with temperature. So you can write V3 by V2 is equal to T3 by T2 over here, right? So using this combination, we can find out the value of cutoff ratio. But for finding out the value of cutoff ratio, we shall manage to find out the T3 and T2. So as you can see from the given data, T3 is already given, that is 2200 Kelvin, but we do not know the value of T2. So we will first try to identify the value of T2. So for finding out the value of T2, we will follow the procedure number 1 to 2 or process number 1 to 2, that is reversible adiabatic process. So reversible adiabatic process, for that I have already told you many times that use PVT correlation. So according to those correlation, we can write that T2 by T1 is equal to R raised to gamma minus 1, right? So we can write like this. So now we will find the R. So we know that R is given as 20 and gamma as 1.4, and T1 is already given, that is 293 Kelvin. So we can find out T2, right? So T2 is equal to T1 R raised to gamma minus 1. So substitute the value, you will have the value of T2 as 971.13 Kelvin. So now we can find out the cutoff ratio, that is T3 divided by T2. So T3 divided by T2 is nothing but 2200 divided by 971.13 Kelvin, that is 2.265. That is the cutoff ratio, right? So now we have cutoff ratio, we have the compression ratio, so we can find out the efficiency of diesel cycle. So substitute this value in the efficiency of diesel cycle equation. So what is the efficiency? 1 minus 1 upon 20 raised to 1.4 minus 1 into 1 by 1.4 into 2.265 raised to 1.4 minus 1 upon 2.265 minus 1. So the final value of efficiency is 0.6352, or you can say 63.52%. Right. Now the next task is to find out the mean effective pressure. So for finding out the mean effective pressure, you are very well aware it is nothing but the ratio of work done divided by swept volume. So first let us find out the work done. So if you recall the efficiency equation, so efficiency is nothing but work done divided by heat supplied. So from that, work done is equal to what we can write is efficiency into heat supply. So QS into eta, right? We already know the value of eta. Now if we manage to find out QS, then we can easily find out W net, right? So QS is nothing but what? So for constant pressure process, heat supplied is what? QS is equal to Cp into T3 minus T2. Remember here students, I have taken M as 1 kg, right? So because it is not given in the any data, so you can consider it as 1 kg, but you have to mention in unit also that the quantity is per kg. Okay, so Cp into T3 minus T2. So for air, Cp is 1.005, right? And T3 is 2200 Kelvin and T2 is nothing but 971.13 Kelvin, right? So you can find out QS as 1235.014 kilojoule per kg. See, per kg, that means what? Mass is 1 kg. Okay, if mass is given, then you can multiply the mass, and at that time you do not have to write kilojoule per kg. At that time you have to write only kilojoule, right? Okay, so keep that thing in your mind. So QS is done. So now if you substitute the value of QS over here, you can find out the value of W net. So W net is equal to what? W net is equal to 1235.014 into 0.6352, right? So we will have the final answer as 784.48 kilojoule per kg, right? So you can appreciate that this is how we can find out the work done, okay, net work done. Okay, now let's move further. What is our main goal? Our main goal is to find out the work done. Okay, so work done is done. Now let us find out the swept volume. Okay, so for finding out the swept volume, you must be aware about the definition of swept volume. So what is the swept volume? It is nothing but the volume that is covered by the cylinder piston cavity, right? So the piston travels certain length in the cylinder cavity. Okay, so that length or the volume corresponding to that length is known as swept volume. Okay, so it is swept by the piston in the whole cavity. Okay, so here also if you recall, then let me draw a vertical line over here. So this will be your V2 and this will be your V1. So piston will be traveling in between these 2 points, right? So that will be our swept volume. So swept volume is nothing but difference between V1 and V2. So V1 minus V2, you can take it as swept volume. So let's do that. For V1, what we can do is we will use the standard correlation of ideal gas, that is P1 V1 is equal to mRT1. We have already taken mass as 1. So now if you make V1 as the subject, so V1 is equal to RT1 divided by P1. We have the value of R. What is the value of R? If it is not given in the examination, you must remember it. For air, it is 0.287 kilojoule per kg Kelvin, right? And temperature T1 is given, that is 293 Kelvin, and P1 is given, that is 95 kilopascal. Here you can appreciate that R is taken in kilojoule per kg Kelvin and P1 is taken in kilopascal. So kilo and kilo will get cancelled out. That is why we have not converted into from kilo to normal unit. Okay, so now that is how you can find out the V1. So V1 is equal to 0.885 meter cube per kg, right? V1 is done. Now let us find out V2. So just pause the video and think by yourself, how can you find out the V2? Okay, so simple. You have the compression ratio R. So R is equal to what? Nothing but the ratio of V1 and V2, right? So R is equal to V1 and V2, and in that equation make V2 as the subject. So if you make me V2 as the subject, then you will have the value of V2, that is equal to V1 divided by R, 0.885 divided by 20. So that is 0.04425 meter cube per kg, right? Now we have the value of V1 and V2. So you subtract that from V1 to V2. So we will have the value of Vs as 0.84075 meter cube per kg, right? Now we have the swept volume, we have the work done. So final equation is mean effective pressure. So mean effective pressure is 784.48 divided by 0.84075, that is equal to 933.07 kilopascal, right? So keep this thing in your mind. If you are supposed to find out the mean effective pressure, then you should always go with this equation, okay? So now let us quickly revise it again, okay? What data is given? So let me just swipe these slides for you guys, okay? So what the given data is this one, right? And what is given? Pressure at inlet given, temperature at inlet is given, then what? Temperature at point number 3, that is maximum temperature. You have to capture the wording, right? Because maximum temperature in the cycle. How will you know maximum temperature in the cycle is what? You cannot cram every time that it is T3, okay? It might be that some author are using different nomenclature. That means for some author, this point is 1 number, this point is 2 number, this point is 3 number, and this point is 4 number. So at that time what will happen? Your T2 will be maximum. Okay, so you cannot cram that. You have to remember the diagram of diesel cycle, that is PV and TS diagram. Okay, then and then you will be able to capture the given data. Okay, so maximum temperature is given 2200 Kelvin. Do not make mistake of taking temperature in Celsius. Always try to convert it into Kelvin. Okay, find the thermal efficiency and mean effective pressure. So you must identify the equation of thermal efficiency as well as the mean effective pressure, right? From that equation, just identify which value is not there. So here cutoff ratio is not there, so manage to find out the cutoff ratio. So if V3 by V2 cannot be found out directly, then you can correlate with it with the temperature. So that is how you can find out V3 by V2. See, we are not concerned about the absolute value of V3 and V2. We are concerned about the ratio of V3 and V2, right? So we do not need to compulsorily find out V3 and V2. We are supposed to find out the ratio. So you can find out to T3 by T2 also, then it will also work, right? So T3 and T2 you can find out, T3 already given, T2 you can find out from the correlation of the given process, right? And such that you can find out the cutoff ratio, right? 2.265. After finding out the cutoff ratio, find efficiency, that is eta. Then work done is nothing but heat supplied into efficiency eta, right? Now what will happen? See, heat supply is nothing but for this constant pressure process. You can identify that Cp into T3 minus T2, right? So Cp is given, T3 is given, T2 is given. So you can find out Qs. Qs is, once Qs is found out, find out the W net, and once W net is found out, you can go for the swept volume. For swept volume, V1 minus V2. Here, remember one thing, most important hit. Whenever you are stuck in any problem for gas power cycle, then always remember this is your life-saving equation. Okay, in gas power cycle, all processes are reversible processes, and it is assumed that air is behaving like ideal gas. So you can always apply the equation of ideal gas, particularly for this chapter. Okay, so P1 V1 is equal to MRT1. This will be very helpful in every numerical, because whenever you are stuck with any value, you can go for this equation. Okay, so keep that thing in your mind. So using this equation, I have found out V1. From V1, using compression ratio, I have found out V2, right? And from that, after that, what we have done is we have find out the swept volume, and after that we have found out the mean effective pressure. Okay, so we will keep up to this point. Practice by yourself also. Okay, thank you.